All right, it looks like we've gone live. We're a couple minutes late, but that's okay. Hey, we've missed a couple of weeks because of some of the exciting things going on over the last few weeks. I was away. It wasn't exciting for anybody else, just for me. But
you were in Alaska hunting wolverines with your uncle.
That's right. That's right. And doing it with a spear. It was kind of fun. So. But yeah, we were in Alaska, so we missed 2 weeks of shows just because of the way the dates fell. We were going to actually record 2 episodes on the week leading up to that, so we wouldn't miss a week. And yeah, that didn't end up happening, unfortunately.
Well, I figured you'd be busy. I
really
PM'd
wanted
you.
to, too. I know. I saw it, too, and I was like, oh, crap.
Well, I figured if you got back to me, you wanted to, and if you didn't, you were too busy.
Yeah, it was sad. So. I did want to, too, and it was my idea, for goodness sakes, and then... Anyway, but we're back now, and we got some exciting things to talk about today. We're going to be talking about using your smartphone for video production, and I know we've kind of talked about that in the past, but it's been a while, and things have changed, and we'll talk about why things have really changed lately, and we'll have some fun with this. So feel free, if you're on Facebook, to comment as we go along. We'll try to take a peek as we move through. Sometimes we get to, sometimes we don't, but we do appreciate any efforts, and we will get back to you even after the show if we don't get to you during the show, if we don't happen to see it. So feel free to do that. And of course, we'll talk about it in the show, but we always could use some good 5-star reviews on iTunes and wherever else. And soon, hopefully by the end of today even, we'll get it in today, soon to be on Alexa, Amazon Alexa. So you could literally just tell Alexa to play the podcast, and boom, there it goes.
Yeah, you just need that RSS feed thing, I think.
Yep, just need to set it up. Yeah. I picked up a new program that I've been talking about for a couple of days called Skillexa, which creates Alexa skills, and skills are apps. So instead of like an app on your phone, they call them skills on the Alexa, and this new program makes them really nice and easy. And one of the features in there is to bring your podcast into Alexa. You don't have to do any coding. You don't have to go through the 800 steps. The software does it all for you. It's really kind of cool. Nice. So we'll have that on Alexa in the next little bit.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, that's neat.
Right.
Yeah, you had an email on that, I think I saw.
Did,
I
yes,
read all your emails.
Had a couple of emails on that and a couple of videos. But in fact, I created a new skill, the Ray the Video Guy skill. So on Alexa, you can sign up for my Ray the Video Guy skill, which right now basically just has one short message from me. But the idea is to have a message each week, and we'll see if I keep up with it just like I do with my YouTube videos, because
you won't
keep up with those so well. But the good thing is they're short and easy, so I could do like 20 of them at a time and have them all ready.
Well, there you go. That'd be the way to do it.
The first episode on it was about microphones for your videos. So there you go.
Cool.
And you can find that you search up, go to the Alexa section of Amazon and search up Ray the Video Guy, and you should be able to find it. You can add it to your Alexa skills and listen to it on your show or your phone or your Dot, whatever it is that you have, and get to listen to me yap away each and every week. So, all right.
Groovy.
Anyway, let's get back to the show here. Before we get lost, again, we're going to be talking about smartphone video production. So, Steve, are you ready?
I indeed am ready, Ray.
All right. Then here we go in 5, 4, 3. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to talk about smartphones for video production. And today's episode is made possible by the all-new iPhone 11. That's right, the iPhone 11 is, well, it's kind of here. Some people can start ordering it and get it delivered to your house, and pretty soon you'll even be able to walk into the store and get it. But you got to get started now so you don't get stuck behind it. And believe me, there are a lot of reasons for video producers to pick up this new iPhone, the new 3-camera system, the ability, and this is really kind of cool, the ability to have multiple camera angles in one shot. And we'll talk about that a little bit during the show as well. But you want to check this out with the iPhone 11. Get yours now. Start ordering it, whether it's Verizon or AT&T or on Sprint. You can start getting it right now by going to raythevideoguy.com/iPhone 11. And that's iPhone 11 for iPhone 11. Get it today. Should be exciting. Oh, and by the way, I should mention, when you get your iPhone 11 through raythevideoguy.com/iPhone 11, we will also throw in a free lapel microphone that you can use with that new iPhone, and we'll give you a whole bunch of other goodies, including videos and music and all sorts of things to make your productions even better. Check it all out, raythevideoguy.com/iPhone 11. And with that, let's hit that funky music, Steve.
Alrighty,
He's
Ray.
Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
It's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper on the GoVMM.com podcast network.
I had to shut the blinds. My face was white. Wider
How was that?
than usual.
I did an impression of you.
You had that down, yeah.
That's right.
You did a
all
good
these
job,
years.
I think. Yeah. Yeah.
And with that, of course, if you like this show, well, we need you to go to iTunes Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review. And of course, you can give it to us on all of the different podcast catchers like Stitcher. And where else can they get it, Steve? They can go to GoVMM directly.
VMM's got them all. Stitcher,
YouTube.
Google
You can do it on
Podcasts, YouTube,
all
Facebook.
those great places. So, and soon to be Amazon Alexa. So more on that next week. We'll be putting up the Amazon Alexa skill for the Video Marketing Madness podcast today, and it should be approved probably by tomorrow. And then hopefully soon afterwards, people will just be able to yell at their Alexa and have them play our song.
Now,
Podcast, that is.
when you were in Alaska,
Not Alexa, but Alaska, yes.
not Alexa, did you hunt wolverines with your uncle?
No, that was made up.
Oh.
By you.
That was Napoleon Dynamite. That's what he did the summer between his junior and senior year in high school.
Oh, that's right, yes.
He hunted wolverines with his uncle. What'd you do this past summer, Napoleon? I told you I hunted wolverines. I already told you I hunted wolverines with my uncle.
That's right. Napoleon Dynamite, baby. I
I
used to live not very far from where that takes place, by the way. So
this is a true story. I had breakfast with a medical doctor this morning that I went to Creighton with, who lives in Orange County. Mm-hmm. Went to Creighton. Mother-in-law lives in Omaha. He was back visiting her. And I was telling him how he could shoot a bunch of testimonial videos on his iPhone. And I was going to send him the link to that show, and he's going to like the link to this show as well.
that is true. He will like that. And, you know, it's amazing. And the first thing I want to talk about with this is, you know, when we get into video marketing, which is what we talk about here every week, we talk about YouTube, we talk about microphones and lights and all this other stuff.
We do?
Yeah, we do. We talk about all these sorts of things. You should listen. It's really good. But every once in a while, we do talk about cameras and things like that. But I wanted to bring up shooting with your smartphone because there's a lot of misconceptions out there about, you know, oh, if I'm going to, you know, do these videos for myself or my business or other people's businesses, I need to go out and get a $5,000 camera. Well, not really necessary to do that because, you know, you can do most of that stuff with your iPhone. Now, I will be glad to admit it's difficult to go walk into a client's office and have an iPhone and say, I'm going to shoot your video for you. There is a stigma to that, but quite honestly, you kind of have to get over that because the quality is there. You can do it. And, you know, if anybody ever questions you about that kind of thing, you know, you can easily say, hey, you know what? The idea here is it's supposed to look like it's user-generated content. It's not, you know, meant to be a TV commercial, et cetera, and we want that authenticity. In reality, it might just be you don't have a nice camera, and you don't need one because here's the funny thing about it. You know, people think, oh, you know, it's a smartphone, it's an iPhone, it's an Android phone. I can't shoot real videos with that. Well, go back 15 years ago, and real videos were in standard definition and grainy and low resolution. You now have in your pocket a camera that's literally 4K, has good, you know, low light capabilities, Looks great when there's lights turned on, can do green screen better than a lot of those older professional cameras. So literally for nothing, and I'm going to say nothing because obviously you have to pay for your phone, but you're paying for your phone anyway. So essentially you've got a professional level camera in your pocket at all times that you don't have to pay for, where, 15 years ago you would have paid $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 for something that's not even nearly the quality of that. Now, some people will argue with me, well, wait a minute, hold on. A really nice professional, even SD camera is going to take a really great picture. Yeah, but it's not going to be 4K. Sorry, it's just not. And you're not going to be able to blow it up to 4K and make it look good. You're not even going to be able to blow it up to HD and make it look good. So the reality is you've got a much better camera in a lot of senses in your pocket than we would have had professionally just a few years ago. So take advantage of that. And one thing that I tell people, and people are always surprised about this. Now, right now we're using a webcam. I'm using the Logitech C920. If anybody wants to use the C920, it's a great camera. I'll tell you all about it. Believe me, I've been using it for ages. They have a new C922, but quite honestly, it's basically the same camera. They added a few features and changed the shape a little bit, but the new one, which costs a lot more, is no different quality-wise than the 920, except that the 922 is not quite as widescreen from what I've seen. It looks like the camera's not as wide angle. So you'd actually be, a little bit closer. So I actually prefer the 920's look for that, but the quality of the image is exactly the same. The 922 has a couple of weird little features, but we use a webcam for this kind of shooting here, and it's an HD webcam, so it looks pretty good. But with your smartphones, you've got HD, you've got 4K, you've got all sorts of really cool things that you can do. And for all of my videos, except when I'm sitting in front of this background here at my desk, I use my iPhone X. And I use that on the green screen. The green screen is right over here. It's just on the other side of, right in front of me here. And I've got a tripod right here with all my lights. And I use my iPhone to shoot myself on the green screen when I do all of that video production work. And Steve, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm using Instant Spokesperson and Content Samurai and stuff like that. So if I shoot myself, I just use the webcam. If I'm doing some sort of, I don't record a lot of testimonial videos.
Sure.
I leave that up to my attorneys. Now, this brings up a good point. I consult with them to use their iPhones to shoot the testimonial videos, and I actually send them the link to the show that we did on how to make money using testimonial videos, and so nice. they listen to that, and that's a real good education, real good tutorial on how to do that. Now, I was going to ask a question,
yes, because
I raised my pen, which you wouldn't see on the audio podcast, but what's the advantage of using the iPhone for shooting your videos? So you got a green screen, you painted a green screen, you got all kinds of great lighting, much better than what I've got. I'm pretty pedestrian. What's the advantage of doing that? Why do you do that?
There's actually a couple of advantages, and obviously I've got in my closet over here, I've got some nice cameras, ones that are worth a lot more than the iPhone and that do great video, and quite honestly, they sit there and collect dust most of the time. But the advantages of using the iPhone are actually, there's a couple of them. One, when I pull out my cameras that I use here, the DSLRs, I need to have a second person running that camera in order to make sure that I'm the one in focus, that everything's set up properly, because I can't really see it and see what I'm shooting. And when I do, I'm like, oh yeah, everything looks good. And I've done that, and I shot a whole bunch of stuff, and I looked at it, and I'm like, it's all out of focus. And I had no idea it was out of focus because I'm not there manning the monitor to see that. When I use the iPhone, one, it's got a better autofocus system in there, and I can see exactly what I'm shooting. I can see the lighting, I can see my framing, I can see if it's in focus, and it's a lot easier to just grab my phone and do it than to set these other things up. Now, of course, in the studio here, I could have my camera just set up all the time, but again, I would still need to have a second person in here to make sure that everything is set up properly. And here's another advantage, and this is something that people don't think about a lot. There's a lot that goes into shooting with a DSLR or even a video camera. With the DSLR, now I use Canon DSLRs, which take a great image. Their audio is horrendous. It's absolutely terrible. and maybe some of the newer ones have improved on that, but they've actually got an issue where if you plug a microphone into a Canon DSLR and you go to play it back later, there's going to be a tss throughout the entire thing because the signal ratio is not good on it. And the way that we solve that is we actually have a signal booster that we put in between the microphone and the camera that boosts the signal from the microphone so that in the camera I can turn the camera way down to get rid of that hiss, and the sound is still powerful enough to get a signal in there. But it's a pain in the neck. And then afterwards, I've got to take the chip out, and I got to put the thing into the computer, and I've got to download that. When I shoot with my iPhone, after I'm done, I just hit send, and it sends it to my computer. And by the time I sit down at my desk, it's already there. So those are some of the advantages that really make a difference: is the autofocusing, being able to not have a cameraman, instant transfer, and the audio quality. When I plug a microphone into the iPhone, I get a much better quality out of the box than I do with the DSLR, believe it or not. So,
but you need an adapter, right? And that was why I was raising my hand.
For the microphone?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on which microphone you have.
I see.
You know, if you go to Movo, which is our partner for things like microphones, you can go there, raisebonuses.com/Movo. You can check out a lot of the microphones they have there. They have ones that have the traditional headphone jack on the end. They've also got ones that have the Apple Lightning connector on the end, and they've got ones with the USB-C connector at the end for Android phones and for iPads. So you can get any of those inside of there, but the iPhones come with the little adapter, so you don't even have to get an adapter for that. It's already in there.
Oh, see, dumb question from a Droid guy. You know?
I know, right? Yeah. So, and I know that, and I think the same thing with the Droids, because I know a lot of the Droids now only have USB-C. They don't have the iPhone jacks now either, and so they come with the little dongles to do that. But I believe I know my iPhone definitely came with one because I have a few of them around here. I don't even know where the others came from. I've got like 3 of them, and I don't know why I have 3 of them, but for some reason I do. Yeah, you can get them at the Apple Store or at Best Buy as well. But at least the older iPhones, they did come with the adapter. The new ones, not so sure. I don't know, because everybody's using AirPods now. They may not bother putting it in there. I'm not sure. But it does make for a nice, easy way to get audio. And the audio is very good. It's very clear. It's very nice. And like I said, with the Canons, it's a lot more difficult. The DSLRs, they don't do great. Now, if you've got a traditional video camera, they've probably got much better audio inputs for you to use as well. But I just find it's very simple for me to just pick this up, walk over there, stick it on, plug the microphone in, and go. And I don't have to worry about anything. And for those of you that are going to shoot with the iPhone, what I use is an app called FiLMiC Pro, FLMIC, FiLMiC Pro. And that allows you to control everything from the iris to the focus to the the sound input, the filterings, whether you want to have automatic gain control. All those things are inside of this, where you wouldn't necessarily get them with the normal built-in video app. So makes for a big difference. And of course, they've got some other editing features in there, and you can actually meter your audio, which is nice to be able to see what your audio looks like, so you don't get it back and go, oh, it's all overmodulated, and then you're all upset and have to do it again. So very easy to do that.
That just gives you more stuff on the phone. It doesn't allow you to do it remotely with a clicker or anything.
You can still do it remotely with the clicker. Yeah, I've got a clicker that does that. Yep.
Okay.
I do. In fact, I got that from Movo. It actually came in the Movo video pack. Which again you can check out at raisebonuses.com/Movo. But they do sell that separately. It's a little button, a little quarter-sized button that you can hold in your hand and press, and it'll turn it on and off. But yeah, so that's what I do, is the iPhone with FiLMiC Pro. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about the smartphones today is, of course, because the new iPhone 11 was just announced. This show, again, made possible by the iPhone 11 at raythevideoguy.com/iPhone11. The new iPhone 11 has a lot of new features for people that shoot videos. And one of the biggest, most exciting ones for me, and people, others may not find this as exciting, but for me, this is the exciting thing, is the front-facing camera, the one on this side, the selfie camera, is now 4K. So they've got a 4K front-facing camera. And the reason I love that is because when I'm shooting my stuff here on the green screen, I'm using that selfie camera on the iPhone. So not only am I using an iPhone to shoot all of my videos, but I'm using the selfie camera to shoot all my videos. And the selfie camera is kind of the, the other camera, the crappy camera. The ones on the back are the ones that are the really nice ones, but the one on the front is really, really good. And up until now, it's been, 1920 by 1080 HD, but now it's going to be 4K on that side, which is really, really exciting. And it adds other features too. You've got slow-mo on the front camera now that you can do and things like that. So the front camera's, quality has just improved vastly when it comes to doing that, and the light input is supposedly a lot better on the front camera as well. And then, of course, if you're going to be shooting other people and other things, the back cameras are really, really neat. Now, you've got the iPhone 11, which is the standard one. It's the regular one that you'd get. That one actually has 2 cameras on the back. But the iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max have 3 cameras on the back. They've got a telephoto camera, a wide-angle camera, and a super wide-angle camera. And what's great about this is, and I don't know how they do this, guys, because I know kind of how optics works, and I have no idea how they can do this because it doesn't make any sense to me. But you can seamlessly switch from one camera to the next while zooming and have a full zoom. Now, how is that possible? I have no idea. I guess because it's the same sensor, but you would think it's going to be off a little bit, but they're able to do it. So you could be shooting a mountain range, okay, and super wide, start zooming in, and partway through it's going to switch to the other lens so that you're wide, and then partway through it's going to switch to the telephoto lens and zoom in on whatever's there, and you'll be able to have this seamless zoom.
Wow.
I have no idea how they do it, but they do it. But the other cool thing about this is with a program like FiLMiC Pro, who they actually featured this when Apple announced the iPhone 11. They featured the president of FiLMiC Pro, who came out and talked about the new cameras and whatnot. And one of the other really neat things that you can do with that 3-camera system is you can switch between cameras. So if you're filming with FiLMiC Pro, you can switch to the wide angle, and it's almost like you have a different camera, because technically you do. So you could literally switch between quote-unquote cameras because you're switching from the wide angle to the close-up to the... And you can also do move-ins. So you can switch from the wide angle to the telephoto, and it will automatically just slowly zoom into that for you and do these nice zooms. And it really just takes video capture on a phone to a really a totally new level, even without any attached lenses. Because I've got, and I've done reviews on these, and they're not very good. They're not fantastic products, and of course you can't see this if you're listening, but I've got these little lenses here that you can attach to your smartphone to add extra telephoto, to add extra, super widescreen and whatnot, but they're not great. But this is a built-in camera, a built-in super wide camera, and when they zoom all the way out, you don't get that vignetting around it like you do with some of the attach-on lenses and things like that. So it's really, really nice, and you can get a nice, beautiful picture with that. They've added in some editing features, so when you shoot your videos, you can actually crop them, you can zoom, you can rotate them just like you would an image now. So you get all of those things in there, plus other features. And of course, if you use iMovie, you've got all of your different tools in there as well. And this isn't just about iPhone. Obviously, the iPhone 11 is an exciting new thing, but obviously the Android phones are great as well. They've got a lot of nice cameras. Sorry, Android guys, not nearly as good as an iPhone, of course, but that should get us some hate mail right there. That's what we look for is hate mail. But no, I'm joking, kind of, not really. The Android phones can do the exact same thing. You can use them as cameras. I'm not as familiar with some of the apps that are in there, but I know that there are some apps for doing advanced shooting with your Android phone. And it's the same type of thing. You get a much better quality picture than you would have in a professional camera just a handful of years ago. So it's a big, big upgrade to be able to use a smartphone as your camera. And of course, you would use it just like you would a video camera anyway. So you plug in your microphone. I recommend the LV1 from Movo as your first lapel microphone that you get. It's a wired microphone. It costs $20. And of course, if you buy it through us, you get all sorts of great bonuses. You can get that at pocketvideopro.com/LV1. And you can record some great audio. That's the one I use, by the way. I've got, really nice wireless microphones over here. In fact, I got 2 wireless microphone setups here, lapel microphones. I've got a big shotgun microphone that, the kind that you would see on a TV show where they've got it on a boom and the guy's trying to hold it over the actor's head. I've got one of those. I've also got a mini one. It's a blogging or a vlogging microphone. It's a little snub-nosed microphone, shotgun microphone, mini shotgun, which is also, by the way, from Movo as well. But I use the little $20 lapel mic because it's always there. It's wired. I don't have to worry about any signal crossings or anything else because I don't have somebody in there listening. So if anything interferes with the microphones and they're wireless, I'm not going to hear it until I go to listen to it afterwards. So for me, just plugging in that wired microphone, $20, and you can get a great sound on your smartphone. Works on Android, works on iPhones, iPads, computers, and it'll work on traditional video cameras as well. So no matter what you're using, big thing there is always use a nice microphone because you're not going to get great quality sound from an Android or an iPhone if you're just using the built-in mic anyway, unless you're really talking right into it. So highly recommend that you get, a mic. And by the way, I've tried using like Bluetooth, headset microphone type things and stuff like that, and they're not the same. It doesn't work nearly as well. You definitely want to get a nice wired or wireless setup that plugs directly into the phone. It's just going to get you a much better, cleaner signal. And, it does a good job. And then, of course, you just want to use your lighting. We've got lots of lights in here. If this was a video blog, I would show you. I mean, we've got 2 background lights pointing to the green screen. I've got a key light, a fill light. I've got a ring light. I've got a center light. I've got a background light, which is I've got 2 background lights, but I've got a backlight, which is a small light that I put in back of me that just basically hits the top of my head and my shoulders. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 lights in here when I set things up to do my green screening. So lights, you can never have enough lights. You always want to have lights. But you can do all of this with your iPhone. And by the way, shooting with green screen and an iPhone is brilliant. The type of compression that they use for the video there is great for doing green screen because in the past, for instance, if you remember DV, digital video, when it first came out and it came on those little digital tapes, you really couldn't do green screen with them. I mean, you could try and you could kind of do it, but it looked really, really bad because the type of compression that was used, even in the professional cameras, was to compress the video by pulling out color information, which meant that when you went to go green screen, you didn't have that color information to work with. With the type of compression that they use nowadays in the iPhones and in the DSLRs, it keeps all that color information, so it's very easy to distinguish colors and to do a nice, easy green screen. Most of the time when I shoot my stuff, I literally just drag the little green screen thing onto there and hardly have to do anything. It's just boom, it's done. And it does it nice and easy and clean. So you can do that with your smartphone. You don't need to have some sort of big fancy camera in order to do that. You can do all of those things with your smartphone, with your Android phone, your iPhone, whatever it happens to be, your iPads, all the same type of things. And you don't need to go out and buy $20,000, $10,000, $8,000 cameras in order to do that. So there you go. That's 40 minutes of me not shutting up for even a second.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't get a word in edgewise, not that I have one. But now I think one thing you have mentioned is that good lighting is imperative with the iPhones because it's got a small iris, right?
Yeah, and that's honestly, that's the case with any camera. But yeah, when you're dealing with a smartphone, you're talking about a lens that's, it's half the width of a dime, or it's the radius of a dime, I guess. A better way to put it. And you're just not able to get light into them as well as you could with a big barrel-sized camera lens. But at the same time, that's what logic tells you. However, I shoot things in here with lights and, with nice cameras and with that thing, and it's surprisingly similar. I mean, your brain says, hey, you got to have more light because it's not a big enough lens to pull in enough light. But it seems to do fine either way. But lighting is always going to be your friend, and no matter what you do. If you're doing green screening, trying to get that green screen lit up as evenly as possible so that you can screen it out very quickly and easily, getting that separation by using a backlight on yourself, and then of course making sure that you look okay with the lighting that's in front of you. Like right now, I've only got one little light right here that I use. It's a little from Movo. It's a little LED light that actually plugs into my computer. And so I can keep it charged all the time. Actually, I got it plugged into a USB hub. So it charges via USB, and it's battery powered, but you can plug it in, and I keep it plugged in all the time there. And cool. That's the only light I really use on this. I've got one of the studio lights is actually a small Movo LED light here as well. It's about 8 inches across by 4 inches tall, somewhere around there. I think it's got 56 LEDs in it, so it's a pretty darn bright light. And I just have to spin that around, and I can use that as a second light. So I've got two of them coming in here if I want to. But quite honestly, from this distance with a webcam, this one's perfectly fine. And then, of course, I've got colored lights that we use in the background here. So there's a lot of lights going on in here. A lot of lights in this room.
You do a ton of videos where you're in front of a camera hawking something, typically an affiliate product.
Scary thought, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Well, at least you test them before you sell them. But it's so imperative that you be able to crank out those videos easily and quickly by yourself. And you're able to do that with your iPhone.
Yeah,
really
honestly,
cool.
If I wasn't using my iPhone, it would be a lot more of a process in order to do it. I'd either have to get a second person in here, or I would just have to really work at it. And then, of course, you can't move anything afterwards because you mess everything up, and you got to take cards out and pass cards back and forth. And, it would just be a pain in the neck. I just find it so much easier to use the iPhone for that kind of stuff. So go figure.
Yeah, when I grow up, I want to be just like you.
You should.
I want to make my own videos.
I mean, honestly, this, maybe not this iPhone, but my iPhones, because I've had multiples, of course. I mean, these things have literally sold millions of dollars worth of products. So, what more of a testimonial can you get than that? And when you literally make money doing it, it's.
One time you having every iPhone you ever owned sitting on your desk there. You had talked about some kind of switcher that would hook all your iPhones up and you could use them as cameras.
Yes, we did an episode a while back on something called NDI. And if you want to go back in the archives and find that, I don't know which number that one is.
Just Google NDI Video Marketing Madness. You'll find it.
Yeah, and you'll probably find it that way. And what that does is NDI is a technology that allows you to use the wireless capabilities of cameras and phones and things like that to use as virtual cameras. So I could literally have multiple iPhones in here and switch between them, as if they were regular cameras. So it's a very, very cool stuff. NDI. Yeah. It's made by NewTek, makers of the video toaster.
That's right. The video toaster.
Lightwave 3D.
Yeah. But that's fascinating, I think. That'd be a fun toy. Have you ever done any videos using that?
Oh yeah. We've definitely done that.
I guess that's kind of a dumb question. No, I was selling it, so I didn't do any videos.
Not super often, just because I don't need to use it very often, but we certainly can. Last year for Halloween, we used NDI and an iPad to do a very special haunted house sort of deal at a Halloween-themed event. And cool. What we did was we had somebody in one room with an iPad, and we had the iPhones in a dark room shooting the room, and the person that had to go in there had to be blindfolded, and the person in the other room with the iPad had to guide them through the room with the monsters and whatnot. So they didn't know, they couldn't see what they were doing. They could just hear noises, and people would scare them. And we had people that were taken out crying because they couldn't handle it. But, it was neat. It was all done with NDI. So that'd
be me. Be cold brown for me, not crying. But thanks for sharing. Huh?
So, in fact, one of the ideas for an escape room that we're planning is that exact type of thing where one person is in the dark and the other person is using like infrared cameras to watch and guide them through one of the puzzles. So.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. Well, this is good to know. I mean that the 3 different types of cameras on the back camera, that is just that. I hate the term blows my mind, but I think that blows my mind. I remember back in the day when like NBC, I'm old, got those cameras that you could flip between wide angle and, you know, you'd have to turn this dial on them to get the different lenses. That's before your time, huh? Oh,
no, I know which ones you're talking about, though.
Yeah. You know, the boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
That's probably 1965.
It was kind of like the if you ever done the different lenses on the microscopes. It was very similar to that, but it was on a giant camera.
A giant camera, and we thought that was amazing.
Oh yeah, and there've been attachments for like the iPhones and stuff that are similar to that, where you do the same type of thing on a much smaller scale, and you do the different lenses in one piece.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm creating tons of content with Content Samurai or Your Instant Spokesman videos, and I don't have to shoot videos with me on camera that often. You know, very rarely. So, but
just once a week here.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing it all the time. I mean,
once a week on this show.
Oh yeah. Just me once a week.
Yeah, I'm doing videos probably every day, or at least close to every other day.
I subscribe to your Ray the Video Guy channel, and I think every day it gives me a notice that you. Yeah, I know.
I think there was 2 yesterday. So. Okay,
was there? Yeah, I'm getting one at least once a day now that I think about it. You know?
Yeah, I'm getting better. You know, I'm like the old proverbial carpenter whose kids have no shoes, because. You know, I help all these businesses and whatnot doing YouTube and stuff, and I neglect my own quite often. I've been trying to get better at it. So
I can. Yeah, the cobbler whose kids have no shoes. Yeah, that's classic. Well, you know, it's like the advertising agency that never advertises. You know, because they're too busy doing everybody else's.
Too busy doing it for others.
And you basically are an advertising agency. So, but I love I watch your videos. Because of the production techniques that you're using, you know, the backgrounds that you use, and you've had some where it looks like you're on a news set, and you have some where you look like you're a weather guy, and you know, things like that. So they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. Yeah,
we try to have some fun with it. I got scolded a couple of weeks ago that I don't do the fun videos anymore, because I started being a lot more serious and doing it on the set here, and they're like, you don't do the fun stuff anymore. So I've started doing more of the fun videos again. So.
I like the one where you're the farmer. In fact, I used it last week where you're kind of, you know, with a weird,
Stock Nation, yes.
Yeah, and I used that to say, hey, no show this week, Ray's in Alaska. That's about the only thing I could think of to use as a photo. I just grabbed a screenshot of that.
Oh,
but I
should have grabbed a screenshot of me
fun.
as Thumbnail Blaster, the superhero.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah. Looked like you were wearing all leather or something. It was kind of kinky.
It was Party City, folks. Party City. Very easy to get my costumes for very little.
Party City. Yeah.
That's where I go and I grab. That's where I got the Thumbnail Blaster costume, the cloak, and the scythe that I used in the video the other day. Party City. So.
I showed that one to my wife. I said, you got to look at this thing. You're going psh, psh, with your thumbnails. Psh, psh. And
gotta have fun again, right?
That's funny.
Yeah, my 12-year-old nephew said, special effects aren't very good. I said, they're not supposed to look very good. They're supposed to look like they were done in 1950.
Yeah.
But
I was telling you that I've been cleaning out my brother's stuff, and I took a bunch of stuff to Goodwill on Thursday. Had a whole truckload full of stuff, and young guy came out and he's holding a slide carousel. Remember the slide? Slides in it. And what's this? Did we throw it away? The guy that was the head of the department said, "No, that's a slide carousel. People will pay money for that. You'd be surprised." 35 millimeter slides.
Hey, you know what? That used to be one of the services that I provided, was taking slides and putting them onto videos. So we used to do that a lot.
My first job out of college, I worked for an art studio, graphic art studio that had a little printing company, and they also made slides, the stuff that you make in PowerPoints now. They would charts and graphs and maps and all that kind of stuff, and white type, blue background was $5. You can get that for $5, and that was like revolutionary. And they did all the charts and maps and everything that's in PowerPoint. That business doesn't even exist, and they were using optical cameras to create them. And there were Marin Carroll made an optical camera for that.
Yeah, no, it's amazing the way the world has changed from slides to PowerPoint and Keynote to from $30,000 cameras to iPhones from. I mean, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing the way the world has gone, and we are a part of it and a witness to it, and hopefully we make money doing it.
Well, I was talking to my buddy this morning that I went to college with, and he was a medical doctor out in California, and I never really had a real job, but he was always into the liberal arts of Creighton. I was the only left-right brain guy I ever saw that both functioned in the same way. So I said to him, remember when we were back in college? What was a Grass Valley switcher back in those days, Ray, in the 70s? It would have probably been $250,000 maybe.
Oh, yeah. No, it depends, but yeah.
Yeah, just for starters, not to mention the cameras and the audio equipment and everything else. I've got all that stuff here in my office for $500.
Yep, absolutely. And if you don't know what a Grass Valley switcher is, guys, it's one of those things that when they show a TV studio and they show the big switcher with all the lit up buttons and the big slide fader and the T-bar handle, that's what we're talking about there, those Grass Valley switchers. And I remember back in 1992 when the video toaster really started taking off, and all of a sudden everything that you did in a studio was inside a computer, and you could switch between cameras, and you could do transitions, and you could add graphics, and you had the Grass Valley style fader, but it was with your mouse, and I mean, it's just amazing. And now you got all that kind of stuff right in here. In your phone, you've got that kind of stuff.
You do.
So
you do.
It's absolutely amazing the way things have changed. You can shoot and edit videos right inside your phone. And if you don't believe me, there's actually a video. If you look on YouTube, I believe it was Bentley. Maybe it was Rolls-Royce.
Shot that commercial. No, I think it was Bentley.
But I think it was Bentley. They shot an entire TV commercial for $250,000 cars they sell for $250,000. They shot the entire commercial with iPhone 5s and edited the video commercial on an iPad. And that was years ago. And the technology has come a long way since then. The cameras are much better than they were back then. So if they could shoot a commercial for a $250,000 car, with an iPhone 5, how can you not be able to do that with an iPhone 10? That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And there have been movies, like actual feature-length movies that have been shot all on iPhones. So it's definitely possible to do that with your smartphone. You just got to do it. You just got to take action. And, don't let people tell you otherwise. Had somebody the other day, they're saying, I'm a professional videographer, and I can't believe they're calling the iPhone 11 Pro. No pro would ever use that for video. Oh, yeah? They wouldn't? I know a lot of people that do. And I know the people that have for years, including me.
Yeah,
but I'm, it's a question whether I'm a pro. So,
yeah, well, I think you got a lot more ability than me. Although I will say one thing: I am a video marketer. Video marketer. I've gotten pretty good at that.
My name is Steve, and I'm a video marketer.
My name is Steve. I'm a video marketer. Good times.
Good times. Good times.
Corn chowder.
Oh, the youngins have no idea what we're talking about right now.
This is NPR.
Welcome to NPR's All Things Considered. Yeah. With us now is Bob Schweddy.
Bob Schweddy. It was a recipe for his Schweddy balls. People, if you didn't see this stuff on SNL or listen to, well, NPR still sounds like that. So.
Oh yeah, it's just nobody listens to it. So. At least nobody under the age of 50 that listens to these episodes is listening to NPR. I don't think so.
Although I did hear, and we're digressing big time, but here in Omaha they released. Nielsen bought out Arbitron. I always wanted to call them the Arbitrons, but it's now the Nielsen radio ratings. And for the first time, the local NPR station bought the ratings book. And the top-rated stations here in Omaha come in 8.5, 7.5. But it's still a top rating is a 5% share of the radio market. And KIOS came in with a 5% share of the radio
nice.
market.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And which kind of blew me away. Now, the next book, it was 3%, and then it was 4% and 5%. It just depends
still,
on who's probably.
still good.
But it was still pretty good. So that really kind of amazed me.
But my guess is the NPR crowd not listening to this show.
No.
We say whatever we want about NPR. Nobody's going to care.
Yeah. No. They're not going to listen to that.
Going to get a message from Owen later. I listen to NPR. Just kidding, Owen. Just kidding.
I listen to NPR. Sometimes I got to turn it off because it's like, will you quit doing that agenda thing? But anyhow, I digress.
All right. Anyway, we have gone way off the tracks here, so we should probably get out of here before we drive people absolutely mental.
Yeah.
Just remember, folks, everything we talk about here, including NPR, does work, but you have to put work into it in order for it to happen. So get out there, grab those iPhones, grab those smartphones, grab those Android phones, get out there, grab those Microsoft phones if you can find one in a museum somewhere. Get out there and start shooting videos, start editing videos, do something. Get out there, have some fun, because you can do some amazing things with equipment that you already have in your pocket. So remember that.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed. Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's pretty cool.
Indeed.
Yeah, so. Indeed.
And today's
Good
episode, by
times.
the way, made possible by one of the things we talked about quite a bit here, and that is the iPhone 11. You can now start to order that iPhone 11 and get it into your hot little hands very soon if you order right away. And you can order that new iPhone 11 with its 3 cameras on the background in the back there, and this in its 4K front camera. You can grab that by heading on over to raythevideoguy.com/iPhone 11. That's iPhone 11.
How the heck did you get that affiliate deal there, buddy? I could kill you, but I'd have to tell you.
2 words. Best Buy. Best Buy.
Okay. All right.
So we are officially a Best Buy affiliate now. So
Oh, neat. Well,
we can sell
congratulations.
all those cool things from Best Buy,
Yeah.
including the
You're-
iPhone 11, 11 Pro,
you're-
11 Pro Max.
You're an affiliate marketing
I
genius.
am a genius, and soon, and many more interesting ones to come. And remember that Logitech camera we talked about at the beginning? Well, get ready, folks. Get
I got
ready.
the same one.
We will soon be with Logitech as well, hopefully.
I got to get some new lights too, but I don't know, someday.
Movo.
Movo.
RayTheVideoGuy.com/Movo.
Movo.
All
Very
right,
good.
folks. With that, let's hit that music. Get everybody out of here before they fall asleep or kill us. So here it is. Once again, the best song in the world.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.